What's up, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV. Can we talk about Matt LaFleur for a second? I've read a lot of stuff over the last 2 or 3 days about the Packers needing to replace Davante Adams. And look, A, that's impossible. And B, no matter what the Packers do, whether it's bringing in a receiver or even two in free agency, which I think is still a distinct possibility, drafting a wide receiver or two in April's draft, also a distinct possibility. No matter who you bring in, they're not replacing Davante Adams. That is not happening. The Davante centric offense that we've grown accustomed to watching the Packers over the last 2 or 3 years, that's gone. That is over. That is done with. And that's not to say that the Packers won't utilize a lot of the concepts that they've, found success with, having Davante as their number one wide receiver. But the game plans, the focus of the offense, that is about to change. And I have to think it starts big time with Matt LaFleur taking the reins on the offensive side of the ball. Clearly, it's going to be a collaborative process, much like it was the last couple of years with Nathaniel Hackett, Luke Getsy, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt LaFleur. Clearly, Getsy and Hackett are gone now. LaFleur and Rodgers will clearly take the reins and drive this ship wherever it's headed. But I keep coming back to the idea of the 2020 season when the Packers were so successful with a lot of the condensed formations, the motion, whether it was Tyler Irvin or whoever, and spreading the ball around. You don't have to look much further than any of the 7 games that Davante Adams missed while he was with the Green Bay Packers, while Matt LaFleur was the head coach, to see how they can utilize so many different weapons in so many different ways. There's no chance that they zero in on a guy, whoever it might be, the way they did under Devontae. The Devontae centric offense is gone. And if the Packers are smart, and I think they are, they will understand that it is time to maybe not, got to hit 10, 11 different targets every game, but it is certainly time to diversify the offensive attack. There's little doubt that Aaron Rodgers will have a major say this offseason, something that didn't happen last year, I might remind you, along with uh, could be Stenovich, could be Clements, but the main two players in this drama are Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. And again, if the Packers are smart, it's time to let Matt LaFleur take the reins and to really lean into everything he brought to the Packers a couple of years ago when things had gotten stayed under Mike McCarthy and he really breathed new life into the Packers offense. It's time to lean in fully to a lot of the Shanahan principles, the stuff we saw with McVay this year with the Rams. Clearly the Packers did a lot of that this past season. There's no doubt. There's no question. But we also saw a pretty significant uptick, especially early in the year, when it comes to the use of spread formations, letting Aaron Rodgers kind of pick his poison, so to speak, operate at the line of scrimmage. It's not to say they need to take that away from Aaron because you never want to do that. He's too good. He's seen it all. He's too talented. But you do, I think, want to run a few less kind of check with me's, cans, what have you. Let Matt LaFleur call the game. Let him get them into good situations. You know, God forbid, maybe run the ball a little bit more. And I understand. Look, last year they were really banged up throughout the season up front. And I do think that took away a lot of what they wanted to do on offense. Because if you look at both Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, their yards per attempt and yards after contact were both down. There's no doubt they didn't have the running room, the running lanes, the things they wanted to do in any aspect of the run game throughout the 2021 season. Got to think that solidifies and is a little bit more efficient in 2022. Clearly, the Packers have work to do up front. Don't get me wrong. I know there's balls in the air, so to speak. But I do think once they settle on a starting five, if they're able to get a little bit more continuity up front, and of course, in an NFL season, you're never going to be fully healthy. I understand that. But just a little bit less juggling up front, that should help the run game be more efficient. And that should help both Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. It's a lot of words to say. I understand people worrying about the loss of Davante Adams. He is a great football player. He is the best wide receiver in the league. You cannot diminish losing that talent. There's no question. There's no doubt. There's no papering over that fact. But I do think there is a chance, and we've talked about it here before, not so much that it will be an exact duplicate, replicate, whatever. But, you remember Brett Favre back in the day when he was zeroed in on Sterling Sharp because Sterling was so great. And then when he lost Sterling, he was forced to spread the ball around. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers at, the ripe old age of, almost 40, that he's going to suddenly find the light and do exactly that. But I do think it will improve his game by forcing him to spread it around, to force him from not being kind of blindered to Davante. Again, not taking anything away from Aaron's talent and his genius and his brilliance on the field. That is indisputable. But I do think leaning into Matt's offense, letting him kind of pick his poison as far as how to attack certain defensive concepts, how to attack certain defensive coordinators, personnel, what have you, concepts, all of it. I do think that will uh, benefit Aaron in the long run these next few years while they're chasing Lombardi one final time for Aaron's career. Those are my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do the Packers need to do on offense in 2022 to take the next step, so to speak, after Davante Adams' loss? Let me know. And then, tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.